guys, Amanda Lindsay here, and I'm with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. So I wanted to try something a little bit different, and I wanted to start making a couple videos to upload to my Facebook because I'm constantly getting a lot of questions, anywhere from buyers, sellers, first-time home buyers, and everything, and they're always pretty much like the same questions. So I really wanted to sit down and kind of make videos about consistent questions that people have, maybe processes or procedures that they don't really understand, or that they just wanted further clarification on. So I really wanted to make these videos to have for people and to upload onto my Facebook. That way people can go back and reference that and really get that information. A lot of the times people have questions and either they don't know the right person to ask, or they're just a little bit, timid and they don't want to ask those questions. So they kind of go home to try and do their own research, but then they don't really get all the answers to those questions. So I really wanted to make these videos to help people and educate people, and I really hope that they start helping you guys. So for this first one, I really wanted to focus on first-time homebuyers. They are the ones that have the most questions, which is completely understandable because this is their first time buying a home. It is a very serious thing, and a lot of people are very scared about the whole process of it, which I can understand. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stuff that people don't understand, and they get overwhelmed, and I can completely understand that because it is a lot. So I wanted to sit down and talk about the most common questions that first-time homebuyers ask, and the very first one is, where do I start? How do I start this process? How do we get going? So for me, and what I like to tell my clients and first-time homebuyers is to either get established with a real estate agent that you might know, or you can also go to your local bank, credit union, whatever is closest to you, or if you know a mortgage broker. I say real estate agent only because if you connect with a real estate agent, most real estate agents will know other sort of connections and can guide you in that direction. So one of the three that you go to and sit down and let them know, hey, myself, my family, me and my significant other, we are looking to purchase a home in the next 6 months, year, whatever your timeline might be. And they'll be able to sit down. Now, they will run a credit check, so just be aware of that. But I feel like it is the most beneficial for people because it tells you what your credit score is. And I know that that is probably the number one concern that a lot of first-time homebuyers have is, is my credit score okay? What kind of loan can I get with this credit score? And the bank and loan officer will be able to tell you that. A basic flat line for across the board credit score is going to be a 620. So if you have a 620 or higher, then you're usually good. If you have a 620 or lower, some mortgage officers can work with a 620 or lower, but if not, and either a mortgage loan officer or the bank, they'll be able to look over your credit score and let you know, hey, these are the problems with your credit score. This is what the bank is not going to like. These are, maybe some tips and tricks on what you can do to help improve your score. And they're here to help you. So they will definitely give you some guidance on where to go. So that is the basis number one, is that they're going to give you your credit score and let you know where your credit score falls on a home mortgage. The second is going to be what you would get approved for. So I know a lot of people, they like to do, online home shopping. A lot of us watch HGTV and, see these $500,000 homes, which are gorgeous. They are the big, expensive homes, and, they have all the high-end finishes, and they're beautiful. But once you go to the bank and you sit down and they're able to really pull a credit report on you and see everything on yours, they're going to be able to let you know where you stand. So maybe the bank is only going to be willing to loan you around $300,000. That will give you a starting point on what kind of homes that you can look at. Because a lot of the time what I see is first-time home buyers have this picture of what they want their home to look like. And then once they start getting into the process and they realize what their budget is, they sometimes get disappointed because they've looked at all these $500,000 homes that are extravagant and beautiful. And so it lowers the expectation. Not saying that $200,000 homes, aren't extravagant extravagant and nice, but obviously there's a price difference for a reason. So the $200,000 homes aren't going to live up to your expectation. And we see that a lot, and a lot of first-time home buyers always get a little bit discouraged and disappointed. So, and a lot of the times when you first meet with a real estate agent as a buyer, whether you're a first-time home buyer or not, they're going to ask you for a pre-approval letter. And when you go to your local bank or mortgage officer, they're going to give you that pre-approval letter to give to your real estate agent. And a lot of real estate agents will not show you homes without it. And what that pre-approval letter tells us as agents is what your budget is. So if your budget is only $300,000, then I am only going to pull $300,000 homes to show you. Because if we start the process the other way and we start showing you homes that you like, and you might fall in love with a $400,000 home, and then you go to the bank or mortgage officer and find out that you were only approved for 2 or 300, then you're like let down because you cannot get that house anymore. And then we have to start the process over. So that's why I say that it's really good. And also, as a note, that even though the bank may say, hey, congratulations, you were approved for $300,000. I would not take it and run with that 300,000. Some of the times that situation works perfect. But just because a bank is willing to loan you $300,000 does not mean that you can afford that. Everybody's affordability is different, and that's something that you are really going to have to sit down and make a list, whether you wanted to pay exactly what you're paying right now, if you're renting something, or if you're starting out just from scratch and you have no idea what you can afford. Definitely always make sure to sit down and make a list of your expenses and your income and really know what you can afford, because a $200,000 house, you could probably buy a $200,000 house because you got approved for that, but you also have to look at the long run and what your monthly payment on that house would be. And so that is always going to be a factor. Other questions that first-time homebuyers have is always about a down payment. So I just want to say that a traditional down payment on a home is going to be 20%. I live in Texas, so I know that there's always first-time homebuyer programs that people get to qualify for. So you do have to qualify for those programs and grants or anything, but they are available, and any sort of bank or loan officer would be able to let you know if you do qualify for any of those. But the standard is 20%. I know that some mortgages and loan officers can go as low as 3.5% down. And I know that if you are a veteran, you can also apply for a veteran loan, which is $0 down. And with the veteran loan, they can process that with a mortgage officer, or you could also go to your VA office and they could kind of further explain the process to you and let you know how you would need to go about that and the proper documentation that you would need to provide for that. So yeah, that's all I have for my tips and tricks for first-time home buyers and buyers. Sellers is a little bit of a different process, and I think I'm probably going to go over that in a different video because I don't want to make this one too long for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it kind of helped educate any first-time home buyers or people that had any sort of questions. Again, if you do have any questions or comments though, please feel free to leave them down below, and I would love to hear from you guys or answer any questions that people had. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.